Today it's time to build from leftovers. Greetings everyone, I am Sydonian, and as I dump out these bits, today we are building a Skatari sniper, or whatever the long trademarked term for the thing is. But it's essentially a Skatari on stilts, so that's where I'm starting. With bits of a Skatari and a Sydonian infiltrator, or whatever it is. The ones with the funky stilt legs that are not as long. So first off, I'm building the comms unit for the back. Ended up deciding I didn't like the tubes on there and had to find a bit that went missing. Started off with cutting out the tubes for the legs and cutting the feet off the legs so as to both use the feet and to add length. Added some rings onto the tube to further bulk out the design and make it look like it sinks into itself, and attach them onto the legs, one leg at a time, partly trying to make sure I can get the thing to be able to stand up, and then trimming out more detail and adding in. Building this thing up a bit. Had trouble with the camera there. Cutting it down to attach the feet in, and once the feet are ready, once the legs have been attached together, I start building up the body using sniper arms and the torso from that infiltrator, and attach it together, trimming down the base of the torso so that it can fit, and the neck of the torso so that I can fit a head onto it. Now I attach the legs on and attach it on carefully, realizing I've got a large gap, but I've got a gear that I can put under the back of the raised up foot so as to make sure that this model is actually supported. And I take off that piece off the backpack with the intention of using it as a sniper, but then I find a Space Marine sniper rifle sniper, or non-sniper rifle sniper. Scope is what I'm thinking. Attach that onto the rifle, and then smooth out the head and attach a Skatari hooded head on there. Now, I like the Skatari hooded head. I also take one of the arms off that little sensor monitor arm off the infiltrator sergeant and attach a monitor screen from a Skatari kit, and here we are adding in bicarb onto the base. Now, word of caution with bicarb that becomes relevant for me but not so much for you, hopefully, is do not put your finger anywhere near where you have spilled super glue into a bicarb container. You will injure yourself. I'm just making another arm here that goes onto the other side and is designed to look like it holds magazines. I couldn't be bothered cutting up a gun to stick a magazine in there, but he will soon have a mountain of pouches. Now you see me here cutting up the pouches to attach around the legs, because I felt the legs looked a bit plain, so I decided to make them look a bit tactical, as that Nerf or nothing that Nerf war term goes. So many folks like to make themselves seem tactical by adding pouches and bits and pieces and all manner of silly accessories. So I went, you know what, let's add mountains of pouches onto this model so that he has somewhere to store a lot of munitions and spare parts. So you have pouches on pouches on pouches. Making use of a lot of Space Marine bits for that, and just attaching them in. Hopefully the camera makes it visible. Pardon if things are a bit fast, but this build did take me a long time. Here we have me cutting up the backpack to take bits from it and repose them. And I made use of the tripod pole that would normally be to support the sniper rifle on the top of the backpack to act as a comms antenna. Unfortunately, it gets kind of attached during the painting stage, but onto the painted model. And so it's painted. Now I went to do a bit more of a rusty look on the legs, or is it verdigris? Look. But the bronze kind of overpowered it. I just like the idea of there being a lot of green in the palette for this model, given the robes. but also given the coat and hood and such. So I don't think I made this model tall enough. I think I needed to make it taller, given the height of the regular Skatari next to it is still a bit low. But if push comes to shove, I'll stick this model on top of a few base toppers, or stick the base on top of some other things to make the base taller, and count it. But yeah, I actually quite like this conversion. I'd been keeping the bits aside for a while for it and ended up actually having a whole lot of spare parts. Like I bought a pack of secondhand weapons sprues that was just the sprue parts that have the weapons on them, and they had the spare torso and arms on there as well. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and keep crafting. The Rusty Robot of Hive Hectare, coming soon.